Now leading target towards Point Bravo.
Roger.
We are inbound and on schedule.
We'll be on top of Bravo very soon.
Meet the S-Class Rank 2 hero, Terrible Tornado, also known as Tatsumaki. If you're considering adding her to your roster, here are several factors to keep in mind. In my opinion, she's the best character in the game, with her only real competition being Prisoner Sonic. Let's dive into what makes this tornado so terrifying. Tornado's attacks apply telekinetic mark to enemies, indicated by a green circle that surrounds her attack crosshairs. When an opponent accumulates 100 points of telekinetic mark, she can use her detonation ability to enter telekinetic liberation state if she is not already in it. Extra points carry over into her next mark. Monsters like the Ancient King that have 2 separate targetable locations on their body can build up to 2 separate telekinetic marks at a time. To detonate the telekinetic mark on the tail, she must target the tail. Some attacks gain enhancements when she's within optimal range, as indicated by yellow crosshairs. Telekinetic Blast is Tornado's normal attack. It's a 6-strike combo with the strongest hits on the 3rd and 6th attacks. This combo deals 730% of her attack stat while she's within optimal range, and 547% of it when she's outside of it. This full combo deals 15 points of telekinetic mark and can hit multiple opponents at a time. Gravity Bombardment is Tornado's first skill. It has a 12-second cooldown, and while within optimal range, it deals 200% of her attack stat and applies 10 points of telekinetic mark. Outside of optimal range, it deals 150% of her attack stat and 5 points of telekinetic mark. This skill can be interrupted if she takes damage or dodges. This skill can also hit creatures high up in the air. Black Hole is Tornado's second ability. It has a 15-second cooldown and creates a black hole at the opponent's feet for 3 seconds. This attack deals 900% of her attack stat and applies 50 points of telekinetic mark while within optimal range. Outside of optimal range, it deals 675% of her attack stat and 25 points of telekinetic mark. This ability is a channeling skill, so if she takes damage or dodges during it, the ability will end early. Detonation is Tornado's third skill. It requires an opponent to have accumulated 100 points of telekinetic mark. This skill deals 600% of her attack stat while she's within optimal range and 450% of her attack stat while outside of it. If this skill hits, it grants 4 telekinetic spears and unlocks Terrible Moment. To activate Terrible Moment, press the same key as the detonation key, and you will enter Telekinetic Liberation State. Telekinetic Liberation State grants enhanced versions of Tornado's skills and allows her to attack while moving. Collapse replaces Tornado's Telekinetic Blast while she's within Telekinetic Liberation State. This attack deals 840% of her attack stat while she's within optimal range and 630% of her attack stat while she's outside of it. Additionally, if you hold down the attack button, she can fire off telekinetic spears for extra damage and mark points. While within Telekinetic Liberation State, Tornado replaces her Gravity Bombardment with Gravity Bombardment combo. This shares a cooldown with Gravity Bombardment. bombardment. However, it deals 500% of her attack stat while she's within optimal range and 375% of her attack stat while she's outside of it. Additionally, while within optimal range, she applies 30 points of telekinetic mark with this attack and 15 points outside of it. This skill can be interrupted if she takes damage or dodges in the beginning of its animation. This attack can also hit creatures that are high up in the air. While within telekinetic liberation state, Tornado replaces her black hole skill with the enhanced black hole skill. Enhanced black hole deals 1100% of her attack stat while she's within optimal range and 825% of her attack stat while she's outside of it. This is also a channeling ability, and it ends if she takes any damage or dodges. Telekinetic Tornado is Tornado's signature skill. It requires her to have used 8 telekinetic spears to charge. Once Telekinetic Tornado has been charged, it will replace her detonation skill as the third skill, dealing 1600% of her attack stat while within optimal range and 1200% of her attack stat outside of it. This skill encompasses a wide area and can hit enemies high above the battlefield. Tornado possesses a very unique ultimate ability. Her ultimate is a near instant cast and ranged, but what makes it unique is it's the only ultimate that travels down from the sky onto an enemy. Due to this quirk, it can actually hit enemies as they're flying up and into an air phase, thus greatly increasing the window of opportunity you have to respond to an air phase from a boss, even allowing you to interrupt the air phase when they've already begun it, in some circumstances. At potential level 0, Tornado is very difficult to play as you have very little room for error in her telekinetic liberation state. Potential level 1. Trembling. Trembling doubles the duration of telekinetic liberation state and increases the damage output by 18%. This potential level is required for Tornado to function as a character, otherwise making her borderline unplayable. If you are going to invest in Tornado, it is highly recommended that you unlock at least her first potential. Potential level 2. Arrogance. Arrogance provides a 0.4% attack bonus for each 1% of critical strike chance on her character panel. Potential level 3. Contempt. Contempt allows Tornado to apply 13 points of telekinetic mark on a successful accurate dodge. This potential level drastically changes Tornado's gameplay, allowing for quicker access to telekinetic liberation state. Potential level 4. Haughtiness. Haughtiness increases the Mind Reader affix cap from 3 to 5. Allowing you to gain access to a total critical strike damage percentage of 190%. Potential level 5. Cosmos Spinning. Cosmos Spinning grants a stacking buff to Telekinetic Tornado. Tornado gains a stack of this buff whenever she uses her Telekinetic Tornado. This buff grants her a 10% damage buff to her Telekinetic Tornado and stacks up to 3 times, granting a total of 30% damage buff to her Telekinetic Tornado. Potential level 6. Overbearingness. Overbearingness increases the number of telekinetic spears granted by Terrible Moment from 4 to 8. This potential level makes Tornado one of the most powerful characters in the game, if not the most powerful character, as it allows you to have easy access to her Tornado, essentially getting to use one each time you enter telekinetic liberation state. Tornado's character-specific affix is Easy Peasy. The first level of Easy Peasy increases Tornado's optimal range damage by 7%. The second level of Easy Peasy increases the optimal range damage from 7% to 15%. The third level of Easy Peasy retains the 15% damage boost. However, it increases her optimal range to ensure that damage will not decrease whenever she enters close range. Tornado's Arms cards. Calling Me a Brat is unforgivable. At max level, this Arms card increases her attack stat by 126. This Arms card grants Tornado the ability to heal herself for up to 4% of her maximum health per second for 12 seconds. Sounds intriguing. At max level, this Arms card increases her basic defense by 346 and the critical strike rate of all of her skills while in telekinetic liberation state by up to 32%. At max level, this Arms grants her the skill to activate a 32% attack boost and 80% assault attack boost to all allies for 90 seconds. If you can, make sure to upgrade this Arms card to level 6, as having this card at level 6 will allow you to have a 100% critical strike chance while within telekinetic liberation state. Ew. Get out of here. At max level, this increases her attack stat by 270 and her critical strike damage of her telekinetic spears and telekinetic tornado by 40%. At max level, this grants all allies immunity to paralysis, burning, and coma until the end of battle. While this immunity is in effect, all attacks bypass 24% of the defense against opponents that would inflict coma, paralysis, or burning. Tornado's stat priorities should be as follows. Focus on building attack and assault attack as much as possible. Tornado is efficient at applying composure damage too, so if you can't get assault attack or attack in a memory slot, aim for composure damage. Health and defense will increase her power level but are less than useful overall. Tornado's affix priorities. You should try to max out Tornado's easy peasy affix first, followed by Penetrating Eye and Mind Reader. Once these affixes are maxed out, aim for the Impassioned affix. If you have space in your build, or you can't quite fit all these affixes into it, try to put in Range of Truth, as that's the only thing that really helps her beyond those other ones. If you want to try out a more unorthodox build, you need to have her Sounds Intriguing arms at level 6. Once you do, you can experiment with 2 levels of an offensive Resolute affix, preferably Resolute Rage and then Resolute Attack. The negative crit can harm her total damage, but Resolute Rage should counteract the loss better than Resolute Attack. The reason you need to have her Sounds Intriguing arms at level 6 to utilize this unorthodox build is so that once you enter Telekinetic Liberation state, you are not affected by the negative crit that's caused by the Resolute affixes. Tornado's basic play guide.
Who really cares anyway? I had to drop everything I was doing and was kept waiting for over 2 hours.
Tornado is a fairly simple and straightforward character to play. Her skill floor is very low. When the battle starts out, she is the most vulnerable to interrupts, and the primary goal should be to get into Telekinetic Liberation. Fire off her Gravity Bombardment as soon as you are within optimal range. If you are confident an opponent is not going to attack you, fire off your Black Hole, and try your best to let it run as long as you can. Dodging is important. A lot of bosses can get her stuck in a stun lock. If you are channeling Black Hole, it's better to cancel the casting of her Black Hole by dodging than getting hit by an attack. Additionally, if an enemy walks out of the Black Hole, be sure to cancel the channeling of the attack by dodging. Once Tornado is in Telekinetic Liberation state, remember she becomes significantly more mobile. Strafe while attacking and using skills. Stay out of the way of many attacks by simply moving around the battlefield. Additionally, she can fire off her Telekinetic Spears while attacking with her Gravity Bombardment combo and Enhanced Black Hole. The Telekinetic Spears can allow her to do much more damage. Remember, she loses all leftover Telekinetic Spears when she comes out of Telekinetic Liberation state. You need to manage her Telekinetic Liberation state and make sure she stays in it as long as possible. If she falls out of her Telekinetic Liberation state, her damage per second essentially is reduced by 60%. Tornado's Advanced Play Guide. Close Quarters Ranged Combat. Tornado's easy peasy affix allows her to fight efficiently in close quarters. While it isn't ideal, as some ticks of her damage from her normal attacks will miss, causing you to deal less damage and miss out on some telekinetic mark, there is a sweet spot of how close you want to be to an opponent so that you don't miss any of your abilities or ticks of damage against them. When fighting 2 opponents, it's good to get close to one opponent and try to kite the other over to the first. Once they are close together, utilize the mobility of Telekinetic Liberation state to keep them close together and fire off her abilities so that they both are hit by each attack, maximizing her damage. Abusing Contempt. Tornado's third potential is much better in practice than on paper. To maximize how quickly she can get into her Telekinetic Liberation state or refresh it, try dodging into attacks. You will know if she triggered Contempt by a flash of green appearing around her. Additionally, this should be used throughout the fight, especially when fighting in close quarters combat. Ranged Attack Pass-Through. Tornado's normal attacks will pass through opponents and damage them on the move towards their target. Anytime she's attacking, she can be moved around and position herself in a way so that her attacks hit most opponents at a time. Doing so will maximize the amount of damage you can do to all of them. Spears and normal attacks. Tornado has a trick she can pull off, though it's difficult and requires some attention. To do this trick, all you have to do is press and hold the attack button, then release at the right rhythm. Once you get the rhythm down, it should be pretty simple from there. This trick allows for Tornado to fire off her spears and normal attack combo at the same time, allowing for a significantly increased DPS potential. Detonation can wait sometimes. Tornado's telekinetic mark can expire after 3 seconds, so you may feel a need to spam the detonation button. If you do so, you may find yourself unable to hit the target as you're missing the moments that you need to fire off the detonation so that it actually hits your target. I recommend taking a moment and waiting for the target to either move in a straight line towards you, as she has a very difficult time hitting targets that are strafing. Unfortunately, sometimes you just are going to miss her detonation ability. Ultimate usage. There are many bosses in this game that are able to fly high above the battlefield, unable to be hit by many attacks. Tornado's ultimate is very interesting as it allows you to hit those creatures while they're in the air. Once Vaccine Man is up in the air, you're able to hit him with your ultimate, causing him to come out of his air phase early. properly. Additionally, Sky King and Mosquito Girl have a phase where they fly up into the air. If timed correctly, you can fire off your ultimate and hit them as they're flying up, causing them to completely bypass their air phase. Utilizing your ultimate in this way can save a lot of time in time trials, like Legend Test and Maelstrom. Additionally, try to make sure that you use Tornado's ultimate while she's in optimal range, otherwise you will do significantly less damage. Tornado's pros. Tornado has the highest DPS value in the game, the greatest mobility of any other character in the game, the only character that's allowed to move while attacking, all the while her kit is very straightforward and easy to learn. Cons. Tornado has an imperfect AI, though it's hardly noticeable due to the sheer damage dealt by her skills and normal attacks. To maximize her damage, you must pilot her. Additionally, she can very easily be interrupted, with very few abilities in the game that do not stop her from casting or channeling her skills. The last con that's likely to change in the future is the fact that she's part of the Assault class of characters. If it wasn't for Terrible Tornado, the Assault class would be filled with mediocrity, with the only character in the entire Assault class that's worth a damn being E-Iron.
It'd be much faster if I went myself. You guys are idiots.
私が行くわ。消えて。逃がさないわ。まだまだ行くわよ。雑魚一匹に手まれるんだし。あんたの番よ。消えて。本当だ。これはどう？食らいなさい。不愉快。本当弱いわね。調子に乗るんじゃないわよ。潰すわよ。何者だ。本当だ。せる。ほら。生きがっていられるのも今のうちだぞ、チビに。まだまだ行くわよ。これでどうか。逃がさないわ。何者だお前は。我ら恐竜族が再び消えて行くわよ。潰すわよ。食らいなさい。何者だお前は。生きがっていられるのも今のうちだぞ、チビに。邪魔よ。大足天空をここまで追い込むとは。行くわよ。この天空王についてこい。不愉快。逃がさないわ。ヒーローとやらを殲滅すれば人生だ。わしらのものが一気にいただくとしよう。
Told you I should have gone. You're so lame.
I'm sorry, but when faced with something like this, I'm sure even you would have had a tough time. It's unprecedented.
You idiot. I would have been just fine.
Hey, so I hope you liked the video. I put a lot of work into that, and I'm just happy that you watched all the way through it, that you got here to me. There's no more content regarding Tornado. This is just her AI running around. But I just wanted to say, thank you for taking time out of your day watching my video. If you really liked it, leave a comment, like it, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Dislike it even, I'll take metrics, any sort of metrics. I guess I should introduce myself. This is the first video I've put together for this game, and I don't think it will be the last. I got into YouTube a while back. I was doing Let's Plays. I did a couple of Resident Evil, and then there were bugs and me not understanding OBS, and it was just a pain. But then I got into that really bad MMO made by Amazon. I got into that, played one episode of that, and was totally fake during that game, and honestly, I just hated it. And I moved on. But, you know, I still have those videos up if you like that. If you'd like to see Let's Plays, give me some comments. I'm going to want to try and do a little bit more, what's the word? A little bit more streaming whenever the new content comes out. Hopefully whenever Arms Genos drops. And that's going to be a character I go and try to go after. My name's Some Ignorance, by the way. I don't think I've said that, but I'm a moderator on the Reddit, not a moderator on the Discord, but again, I've been playing the game since launch, and I just really love this game. I've loved One Punch Man, the IP. I want to say a year ago, I got back into it, and I was training myself how to draw with One Punch Man's manga with Murata's artwork, and you know, this series has changed my life, and I just want to say, you know, thank you to Murata, thank you to One, thank you to everyone involved in the development of this manga, this anime. You know, I hope that I can keep going forward and making more of this content. And last thing I want to say is, while I do want to make more of these videos, I only really want to make these videos on characters I have fully upgraded. That right now being Tornado. She's the only one I have completely upgraded. I'm a total simp for her. You can, you know, make fun of me in the comments all you want. I don't give a fuck. But, no, I've got her fully upgraded. It's looking like Puri Prisoner is going to be the next one I drop, as I have him potential level 5 and arms card level 6. And by maxed out, I want all their cards, all their potential levels, everything like that. I want that all maxed out before I go and make a review or overview of any character. And, you know, that way I can kind of say, you know, the characters are this good. I have a baseline of every character. And, well, yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Once more, like, comment, and subscribe if you want more of this. I'm thinking about maybe putting together a Patreon, but I don't know yet. If I do put one, it'll be down in the description below. Thank you, and I hope to see all you guys right when I get this Puri Prisoner potential, and he'll be my next video probably. Unless I get super lucky when Arms Genos drops. But, thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. And, good night. Bye-bye.